Sai Ram. This is an entry in 1979. The university exams were coming, and Swami had told us that we could come into the mandir and study. In those days, Swami had got it announced. In fact, I remember that day, Swami had made an announcement that since boys are having exams, nobody, that means no guests or VIPs or anyone, should come, so that boys are free to study. That's what Swami said. So in this entry on 2nd March 1979, I have written, as per the announcement yesterday, no guests were allowed into the bungalow. Swami had announced that no elders could go to the bungalow as students had their exams and needed to study. So the entire place was available only for us to be with Swami. We went to the college in the morning after darshan. Swami gave darshan around 9:15. In those days in Brindavan, Brindavan used to be quite chill. And also because devotees had to come all the way from the city, Swami would wait for the train. Once the train comes, Swami would wait for another 5 or 10 minutes so that devotees would stream in from the railway station, the Whitefield railway station, and come and settle down, and then Swami would come out for darshan. A telegram had come for Swami. I took it as an excuse and went into the safe room. In those days, any opportunity you get to interact with Swami, you will grab it. Like if Swami is going out to see some construction site, then we will run inside and pick up Swami's slippers and go and offer it to him, so that that was one more opportunity. Or we would pick up Swami's paan box. In those days, Swami used to eat paan and his lips used to be ready. But even though Swami used to eat paan, I have seen hundreds of people eating paan, but nobody was so elegant like Swami. When he ate paan also, it was done with such finesse, such beauty. And a description of this paan eating is mentioned in Lalita Sahasranam as Tambula Purita Mukhi. Swami would take those leaves, those betel leaves, were cut into small, cute little betel leaves, just half, not full, and then it would be cut vertically, and then those small ones would be neatly arranged in a paan box. And this paan box would also have other betel nut, and there would be chunam, and even to take the chunam there would be a small little silver spoon which Swami would use. And if Swami wanted to give someone a chance, he would allow them to carry his paan box. This was a beautiful opportunity for which we would pray. Of course, everything that Swami did has a message. Swami would also tell us that he did not eat paan simply like that. It was very good for digestion, Swami would say. The calcium would help in the digestion. The calcium in the chunam would help in the digestion, the supari and the betel leaves. And of course, I have heard it from some of my seniors how Swami got into this habit of eating paan. In the olden days, when Swami was a small child, the Ishwaramba household had a number of children. It was a joint family, and they were not so very well to do. So if all had to eat, they would Ishwaramba would give on the leaves. She would give the ragi sangati or whatever, and Swami would not only eat the ragi sangati but also eat of the betel leaf. And that is how, so slowly over the years, Swami had got into a habit, or what looked like a habit. No, but with God there is nothing like a habit. Every bit of what he did was perfection and a message for mankind. And there was always this human part of Swami. I remember that in the 80s, Dr. Gokak was the Vice Chancellor, Professor Gokak, was in charge of the Jnanapith Award, the highest literary award in the country. He was the chairman of that committee which was selecting. And they had a meeting in Delhi when Professor Gokak went to tell Swami. He was the Vice Chancellor at that time. This was in the 81, 85, somewhere in that period, 1981, 1985. He went to ask Swami for whether he could go to Delhi. Then Swami said, why don't you invite the other members of the committee here to Brindavan, and you can have the meeting here itself. Okay, and so Professor Gokak was very happy because this would be an opportunity to bring all those literary giants to Swami. And so they came, and there was a gentleman from Bengal and very, very great scholars they were all. Now, one day, it so happened that Swami had given interview and come into the safe room. I have mentioned here that I had used the telegram as an excuse for going into the safe room. There used to be this beautiful room in Brindavan, in the old bungalow, called the safe room. There was a huge safe, a part of the old palace, and this was, I think the room was built around the safe, and therefore it used to be called a safe room. And that is where we used to have beautiful interactions with Swami. Somehow we would try to smuggle into that room, because there Swami would be sitting relaxed and interacting with all the students, and only select guests would come in. All were not allowed. At least that was the tradition, so everyone would not come in. And we would get chance to do Pad Seva to Swami. Swami would be sitting there and talking very informally, and two boys would be pressing Swami's feet. And this could be for a number of hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, like that. And then, of course, others would slowly move in and take the chance. It was like that. So Swami had come from the interview room into the safe room, and he was talking to us. And suddenly, he took his kerchief to wipe his lips. Of course, because of the paan which he used to eat, the kerchiefs used to have the paan stain. Swami just wiped his lips, and in one brief moment, Swami looked at the paan stained kerchief. And of course, we didn't know what was running through Swami's mind. And then we suddenly got to know that Swami had stopped eating paan from that day. We were all stunned to hear this. And later on, slowly, the incident connected with this came out, which shows how very beautiful is Swami's life, that he practiced what he taught. It seems during the interview that he gave to those literary giants, he had given interviews to all of them and personally had talked. And one of these people had the habit of putting snuff, and maybe his scholarly ideas became kind of provoked by that eating snuff. So he would rub his nose with that kerchief, and he would bundle that kerchief into his pocket. And Swami gently told him, look, you're such a big literary figure. There are thousands of people and tens of thousands of people who are inspired by your writings and by your literary contributions. So they like to emulate what you do. So look at this handkerchief that you have. It is so dirty, Swami said, all because of the snuff that you're putting. Why don't you give up this habit? And that gentleman, of course, he prayed to Swami for the strength and said, yes, Swami, thank you for teaching me this, Swami. I will give it up. That's what he said. And it was after this particular interview that Swami had come to the safe room, and as he was talking to us, he wiped his lips and then looked at that handkerchief. In that handkerchief was the stain of the paan that Swami was eating. And Swami told us later that I asked myself, I told that gentleman that see, this habit of yours, it is creating such a stain, it's such a bad example for others. And Swami said, I asked myself whether I was doing the right thing, and therefore from that moment I decided to stop eating paan. So this is a beautiful lesson that we learn from Swami. He always examined his own life from the touchstone of practice. He always said, you must have trikarana shuddhi. What you think and what you say is also the same as what you must do. Thought, word and deed should be in alignment. And here was one more beautiful example. I remember in one summer course, Swami was talking about his life. When he was talking about his life, Swami said, as a small boy, I had gone to this village fair, Pushpagiri. He had no money, and he did not want to go along with his classmates, scouts, who had paid the bus fare. And so Swami created an excuse for not going with them, but he trekked the entire distance of I think it was about 14 kilometers or something, on a moonlit night, and reached that cattle fair. He was enthusiastic about the service, and he wanted to show that service was its own reward. And he wanted to set an example for his classmates and playmates. So he wanted to be a part of that, but at the same time he didn't want to reveal that in his house there was a lot of poverty, and therefore he went alone. And Swami said that the little bit of money that he had got by selling these textbooks of the previous year to a Harijan boy who could not afford much, and even that little money was taken away by someone. And Swami said that when he went to that place to sleep in the sands of the riverbed, as he was lying down, he was so tired, he said, that someone took away whatever little money was there. And then when he got up, he found nearby a small coin, some anna or something he found, along with a BD packet. Swami said that I was against this BD and such habits, so I immediately destroyed that. That little bit of money which was there, I went on asking everyone whether it was theirs, and nobody claimed it. And he said, I found somebody who had a contraption by which if you keep money, a needle would be rotated, and the needle would come to halt at a particular segment. And if that segment contained number 2, whatever money was kept, it would be doubled. If it was the number 4, it would be 4 times it would earn fetch, and so on. If it turned into a region which was blank, that money would be taken away by that person. And Swami said this very, thought-provoking sentence. He said, in my entire life, this is the only mistake that I have done. He said, I gambled. He said, this is gambling, to take money like that and try one's luck. And it was such a beautiful sentiment, because we all were moved. Here was God who was telling us that he was saying, he was identifying a mistake that he had committed, which he taught us, act which he taught us is a mistake, gambling, and telling us the importance of not straying into such regions. But he was using his own life as an example. And this sincerity, this transparency, this honesty was something that we always saw in Swami's life. I mean, our interactions with Swami, we were all touched by Swami's. Whatever little transformation has come into our life is because we were in touch with Swami, who had this kind of sincerity and honesty in everything that he did. We will continue this in the next session.